Hey, it's Troy Casey, Certified Health Nut. Today I'm here to talk about my experience with ayahuasca, and the intention of this video is to offer information for people who are searching out this very esoteric, ancient plant medicine, as well as explain my understanding of what it is and how it affects the human body and consciousness. In 2006, I decided to go down to the Amazon rainforest. I'd been working with an herbal company that brought herbal medicine from the Amazon rainforest to the United States, and I went down there to research the plants more in depth and was definitely looking to upgrade my operating system, my human being technology. And so I had a little bit of trepidation because I had about 6 years sober, and I didn't want to go through any kind of like drug experience or, to put that label on it and to have that be a head trip for myself. Funny thing was I was in Cusco and we did San Pedro ceremony with a shaman there the week before I went to the Amazon. And my experience was not psychoactive with the San Pedro. However, I saw the shaman later on in the day and I talked to him about my trepidation for the ayahuasca, for doing the ayahuasca. And he said, look, this stuff is not child's play. And working with these types of medicines is not a joke. And so he said it's very powerful and it has the power to transform you. And so to take it serious, A, B, if it is right for you, you will know. And he directed me to his fire circle and told me to pull out 2 rocks and sit down and meditate with them. These are the 2 rocks that he had me pull out of his fire circle. Very heavy, dense rocks. This is very similar to the Incan temple rocks. It's very heavy, very dense. It's black like some of the rocks. Very, very interesting. And this one, he said that he saw fall out of the sky, and he went and picked it up. And so kind of heaven and earth. And I sat down in meditation with them and I instantly started spinning around. And I had my own experience with them. And then he actually gave me these and I took them to the Amazon with me. And so very cool, powerful rocks and a cool little story that goes along with it. So I was able to get out of my mind the whole worry about whether I should do it or shouldn't do it, because he told me that I'd basically be guided. And so I soon found myself in the Amazon rainforest with a gringo shaman that lived down there, Scott Peterson. I have many videos on my YouTube channel about him and his explanation of the plant medicine. He has since died, and I had great experiences working with him. And the first thing that he said after he picked me up from the airport, he started calling ayahuasca medicine. And I thought to myself, because I was still stuck a little bit on the drug aspect of it, and I thought to myself, who's this guy kidding? Medicine, this stuff is hallucinogenic drugs, or at least I thought. And so I think it was that night that I did my first ayahuasca ceremony. Scott was not one to pussyfoot around, and so that night we did a ceremony, and instantly I realized that it wasn't child's play, and that it was extremely powerful, and that it most certainly wasn't just a party drug or any other kind of drug experience that one wants to go out and have. Some people may treat it like that. However, it's not to be messed with. It's an extremely powerful spirit, and it overpowers the body and the consciousness. So, back to my explanation of ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, first of all, is going to cleanse the digestive tract, the liver, the gallbladder, the intestines. There can be a purging effect, evacuation of the bowels, etc. Cleanses the blood through the nervous system where we hold our beliefs. And so it's like a system defrag. If anyone operates on a PC, you know what that is. So it goes in and sees any potential files that's running in the back of your consciousness. Was I raped before? Did this person abuse me? Did that person say bad things to me long time ago? Say bad things to me long time ago? Do I have anger and hatred towards this person? Any kind of emotional wounds? These things kind of get brought front and center. Any kind of emotional wounds that we're inflicting on ourselves, guilt, shame. These things get brought to the forefront as programs running, and you get to look at them. That was the first thing that I recognized in my own personal experience, as well as the purging effect on my liver and my intestines. First of all, I didn't have a lot of hallucinogenic experiences. Yes, I saw the kaleidoscope phantasmagoria, hallucinogenic tracer, sacred geometry colors, but I kind of saw those on the periphery of my consciousness. Some people you see on the internet, they lose their body and they get enveloped into that whole experience. That never happened to me. And what happens to me is I get clairvoyant messages in the form of knowings. They come into my heart and they just, they're like visions that I see clearly. However, I feel them more in my heart clearly, if you can understand that. And so 3 visions came to me while I was in the Amazon the first time in 2006. The first was the vision of the spirit of my daughter. And I was not married at the time. And of course, I had my son first. The second vision that I had was that of the certified health nut. So that was an amalgamation of my on-camera career and my comedy background that I was doing, a lot of stand-up and improv at that time, as well as my natural medicine and internal purification and holistic studies. And that kind of combined into one and one idea, and Certified Health Nut was born, and I laughed right out loud in ceremony. And so both my family and Certified Health Nut is still expanding. It's been through a gestation period, it's been birthed, and it's been evolving. And then the third vision that I saw that it was very clear that we were moving through a huge transition in what the Mayans called in their end of their calendar in 2012. I saw the book of Revelations, kind of the idea of that summation. All of the ancient scriptures and prophecy, the eagle and the condor prophecy, all these ideas kind of presented that were absolutely true and coming to fruition in our lifetime. But instead of an Armageddon and death and destruction, what I saw is that humanity makes it. I had a very clear vision of that humanity makes it and we move forward. And so I feel that these 3 visions are still unfolding for me now. I see that out there. I see that many aspects of life in general are changing, and I feel, here's the thing, I feel that we are headed for a quantum leap in human consciousness, because you're still looking at some of the systems that are in effect, the agricultural system, the educational system, the economic system, the energy systems. They are not sustainable. And in the 3rd dimension, it doesn't look like we're going to make it. We're fracking into the water, Fukushima, the Gulf spill. These things are all contaminating the earth. We're still cutting down the rainforest. And so if you look at the 3rd dimensional aspects, it doesn't look like we're going to make it. However, you're starting to see the consciousness really budge. There's been a big backlash on genetically modified organisms. A lot of people are looking at their own health because they're realizing that they're not healthy, and that the information that they've been offered by the mainstream is not working either. People understand the money system much better nowadays. And so I feel that we are on the cusp of a quantum leap, of a huge awakening, even though it doesn't look like that. So that encompasses a lot of my experience right there. Another thing that I'd like to go through are my multiple experiences down in the rainforest. I've done ayahuasca about 30 times, and the first 10 or so times I did in 2006, I was so enamored and profoundly moved that I wanted to come back within the year, and I brought film equipment down there, and I was interested in bringing my brother down there. He had a heroin problem, and so I called him up, I spoke to him, he wanted to come, and so I was going to go down and film some preliminary footage, come back, raise money for the film, and bring him back. And when I came back, he overdosed on heroin not soon after that. So I went through that experience. In the meantime, I got some really cool footage A lot of it's up on YouTube right now with the shamans that I work directly with, especially Elisa Vargas Fernandez. I brought her up to Scott Peterson's place, and I had magical experiences with her. Very profound heart openings, very just mind-blowing experiences, being in the center of the mother, of the belly of the Amazon rainforest, breathing that oxygen, hearing the buzz of the insects, knowing that there's wild animals all around you, having an indigenous shaman sing to you in super high frequencies while you're on this ancient medicine that you can just feel communicating back to the origins of time. It was, this experience still lives in my heart. That was 2007. I did another 8 or so ceremonies. The next year I came back with my wife and my son and had quite a few more experiences, filmed a lot of footage and research on the plant medicine that I was working with, cat's claw, dragon's blood, chanca piedra. I interviewed some shamans. I did a lot of recordings for the Icaros, the songs that the spirit of ayahuasca sings through the shaman, filmed some stuff inside ceremony, and just had really, again, heart-opening, mind-blowing, heart-opening, blowing experiences. Things that still live with me to this day. Another thing that I experienced with ayahuasca and working with very powerful plant medicines is a certain level of coherence, which is laser-like. A certain level of energy, a certain level of activation of intelligence, very clear, a lot of clarity. And again, that's part of the system defrag that ayahuasca has the ability to do, to really clear up any nonsense and interference in your energy field as well as your consciousness. Then I returned in 2012 after I was in a course with Paul Chek. There was a young gentleman that was not living up to his potential, and Paul suggested that he go on an initiation for his own life, and I recommended he come to the Amazon with me. So I took him down there with a couple other Czech practitioners and some friends, and I brought the baby. Athena returned with me, and she was able to sit 3 ceremonies with me as well. I brought both my kids into ayahuasca ceremonies, and they've experienced them firsthand. And so it was an amazing experience having her back in the Amazon with me. And then, of course, having all these clients and friends with me. And that experience was not a walk in the park. I had a lot of responsibility. I had the group that I brought down there, as well as my own healing to deal with. And then also having the daughter was a big responsibility. And luckily, we had a Shipibo nanny, Indian nanny, that helped us out. And that experience really kicked my butt. I had some very, I don't want to call them hellish, but they were very tough ceremonies. And the shamans will say, when you go to the depths of hell, then you can come back and realize all the great stuff that you have on earth and that you have here. And that was definitely my experience. It was a tough time when I was down there. However, the lightness of being and the lightness of heart really came back to me. And it wasn't too much of a dismantle. It just seemed like it was some old guilt, shame, just kind of humdrum energy that got cleared. I will say that I've done ayahuasca a couple of times in North America. I'm not a big fan of it because of all the psychic density here. Some people up here also use it as just another party drug, which it is not. And so I prefer to do medicine in the Amazon. The mosquitoes, the birds, the other insects, the energy, the nature devas are all in the Amazon, there to tune you up, whether you're in ceremony or out of ceremony. So I prefer going to the Amazon rainforest to drink ayahuasca. So I think I covered most of my experience. Very profound medicine. I do recommend it for anyone who is called. It is not child's play. It's extremely effective if one is stuck in their life if one has a issue that they're trying to deal with, I recommend researching it, and if it feels right to you, then definitely give it a try. I've sent many people down to the rainforest, and not everyone has the experience they thought that they were going to get. So my advice to anyone who's going to the Amazon, Peru, Ecuador, wherever you decide to go, is to set your intention very clearly. My first intention before I went down there was to connect to the divine feminine in all of its aspects. And I definitely got that on many levels, including the vision I've got of my daughter. And the funny thing is, when I came back to the States, I thought it was this girl or that girl, and I thought it was my wife. And the fact of the matter is, it was my daughter. And so it was funny to see me kind of, look for the person. Hey, is this you? Is this you? Is this the feeling, the vision that I got? So I hope that helped a bit. Put a comment in the box. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me on Facebook or YouTube, and I'm here to help. I'm here to answer any questions that you have, and really just help humanity. I like the quote that Scott Peterson left me before he died, and he said, when things go haywire in the world like they are today, man goes back to the origins. And ayahuasca is from the origins, and it takes us back to the origins. And so much love and respect to everyone out in cyberspace.